Today we are going to learn how to crochet a Mickey Mouse bag. We are using milk cotton yarn for the crochet. With a 4.5mm crochet hook. The width of the bag is approximately 21 centimeters. It can fit a mobile phone. All daily small items can be put in. Next, let's crochet together. This is the main body of our Mickey Mouse. The bottom half is crocheted with red yarn. The body half is crocheted with black yarn. Due to the color of these two yarns in the video, it's not very clear. So in the following video, I used white and blue yarn instead. When we crochet, we only need to refer to the crochet method. For the color matching, in the video where white yarn is used, you need to use red yarn for crocheting. For the part where blue yarn is used in the video, you need to use black yarn for crocheting. Double strand yarn, wrap the needle around 2 loops on top. Insert the crochet hook into the loop. Pull out a loop. Crochet a starting stitch. Then insert the crochet hook into the starting loop. Pull out a loop. Wrap the crochet hook with yarn. Pull both coils over at once. This is a short needle hooking method. We can hook a marker button at the position of the first stitch. Then continue to hook short stitches in the starting loop. Continue in the same way. Hook short stitches in the starting loop. A total of 7 short stitches are hooked in the first round. 2, 3, 4. After completing the 7 short stitches in the first round, let's deal with the opening position. Pull the short needle to the right. We can see 2 segments and one end at the opening. Pull the end inside to the right tightly, then pull the outermost segment tightly. Tighten it. This way, the opening will become smaller. Then we continue to hook. Then return to the first stitch, which is the marker button. Return this stitch back to its original position. Insert it into the top of this macaroni. Hook 1. Hook this. Hook this. Hook 1. Pull out the needle. This completes the first round. Next, hook and knit the second round. First, hook a standing stitch. Then, we insert it into the first stitch, which is the same stitch as the pulled out needle. In the first stitch, we hook and knit 2 short stitches in the same stitch. We complete the first short stitch first. After completing the first short stitch, place a marker. For beginners, it's easy for us to count incorrectly. Then insert it into the same stitch again. Bring the yarn out. Knit another short stitch. This way, we have already completed 2 short stitches in the first stitch. Next, in each subsequent stitch, hook and knit 2 short stitches each. Insert it into the second stitch. In the same hole, knit 2 short stitches. Then insert it into the third stitch. In the same hole, hook 2 short needles. Then follow the same method. Finish this round of crochet. The second round consists of a total of 14 short needles. Then remove the marker and crochet a draw needle to connect with the first stitch. Then crochet a standing stitch. Let's start crocheting the third round. The pattern for adding stitches in the third round is skip 1 stitch, then 1 stitch. Let's see how to crochet skip 1 stitch, then 1 stitch. First, crochet a short needle in the first stitch. Place a marker in the first stitch. Then in the second stitch, add 1 stitch. Now we have completed a short needle in the first stitch. Add 1 stitch to complete a short needle in the second stitch, then in the third stitch. This way, we have completed a set of skip 1 stitch, then 1 stitch, then crochet a short needle in the third stitch. Then continue to add 1 stitch in the fourth stitch. This way, we have completed 2 sets of skip 1 stitch, then 1 stitch. This forms the effect of skip 1 stitch, then 1 stitch. The effect of skip 1 stitch, then 1 stitch. Next, we will follow this pattern. Continue to finish the third round. After completing the third round, there are a total of 21 single crochets. Remove the marker. Crochet a slip stitch with the first stitch. Then crochet a chain stitch. We crochet the fourth round. For the fourth round, we have our increasing pattern is to increase every other stitch. First, in the first stitch, crochet a single crochet. Place a marker in the first stitch. Then crochet a single crochet in the second stitch. Increase in the third stitch. This completes 1 set of increasing every other stitch. Then crochet the second set. Crochet a single crochet in the third stitch. 1 single crochet in the fourth stitch. 1 single crochet in the fifth stitch. Increase in the sixth stitch. This completes the second set of increasing every other stitch. Let's see if the increasing every other stitch pattern has been formed. The effect of increasing every other stitch. Following this pattern, continue to complete the fourth round. After completing the fourth round with increasing every other stitch, a total of 28 single crochets. Then crochet a chain stitch. A slip stitch. Join the loop. Then crochet a chain stitch. We start crocheting the fifth round. The increasing pattern for the fifth round is to skip 3 stitches and then make 1 stitch. First, make a single crochet in the first stitch. A single crochet in the second stitch. Crochet a single crochet in the third stitch. Then make an increase stitch in the fourth stitch. This completes an increase of 1 stitch every 3 stitches. Then we crochet the second set. First, make a single crochet in the fifth stitch. Make a single crochet in the sixth stitch. Make a single crochet in the seventh stitch. Make an increase stitch in the eighth stitch. This completes 2 sets. Skip 3 stitches and then make 1 stitch. We follow this pattern to complete the fifth round. After completing the fifth round, there are a total of 35 single crochets. Just like before, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Then a chain stitch. Next, we crochet the sixth round. By crocheting the previous rounds, we can also see that the increasing stitches for each round follow a pattern. In the first round, we start with 6 single crochets. The second round is to add 1 stitch in each stitch. The third round is to skip 1 stitch and add 1 stitch. The fourth round is to skip 2 stitches and add 1 stitch. The fifth round is to skip 3 stitches and add 1 stitch. So for the sixth round, we skip 4 stitches and add 1 stitch. For the seventh round, we skip 5 stitches and add 1 stitch. For the eighth round, we skip 6 stitches and add 1 stitch. Following this increasing pattern of adding stitches, continue crocheting until the 8th round is completed. After completing the 8 rounds for the base, starting from the 9th round, we crochet the body of the project. Crochet a slip stitch in the first stitch, then crochet a chain stitch. Next, crochet the 9th round. From the 9th round onwards, we are working on the body part. For the body part, we crochet even stitches without increasing or decreasing. Crochet 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch. Continue crocheting this round until it is completed. Crochet until reaching the end. Then crochet a slip stitch in the first stitch. Crochet a chain stitch. Next, start crocheting the 10th round. Exactly the same. Knit a short stitch in every stitch. The white part we wrapped around our body. Continuously knit short stitches without increasing or decreasing. We knit a total of 15 rounds. Knit until the 15th round in total. Let me teach you the next knitting method. After this, we will knit by ourselves. In total, we knitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Knitted 15 rows. Now we have finished knitting 15 rounds with red yarn. After that, we knit the 16th round. We need to change the yarn for the 16th round. We need to change to black yarn. Change to black yarn. Here, I'm using blue yarn to demonstrate for everyone. The final stitch. After knitting, we make the final stitch. After knitting, we undo this part. Here, we should knit a slip stitch to connect with the first stitch. Because my bag is crocheted spirally, so I didn't crochet a slip stitch here. Let's skip the last loop first. Then hook. Press all these threads underneath. Next, we continue to crochet the 16th round. The 16th round after changing threads. In the first stitch. After changing threads. Then after we change threads. Everyone pay attention here. Look, I'm hooking the outer half loop directly. Directly pick the inner half loop. Then the inner half loop. We are left with our 16th round. Pick the inner half stitch directly. We can see that each stitch is in a wheat-like shape. We start from the middle of the wheat. Insert the hook inward to pick the inside loop. And the outside loop is left unhooked. The center of the braid is to insert the hook outward. Pick the outer half loop. Here, I have already crocheted a stitch. This is its effect. Outside. Half a coil. We use it to pick the outermost one. This red edge. So we need to leave the outer half stitch unhooked. Starting from the 16th round, after we change the thread. No need to hook and pull the needle. Directly insert it into the outer half stitch. Hook the short needle, like this. Only pick the outer half stitch. Press the remaining thread inside. Crochet together. Then we do it like this. Only pick the outer half stitch to complete our 16th round. This way our 16th round is completed. After completing the 16th round, we crochet the 17th round. For the 17th round, we just go normally. Pick the entire stitch to crochet. Hook a short needle in each stitch. No need to only pick the outer half stitch. Then we start the 17th round. Just keep doing it like this. To crochet. Then here is staggered. We don't need to worry about. When we finish edging in a while, it will be taken care of here. Then here, we are the blue part. Need to crochet 25 rows. Here. Everyone continue to crochet upwards. Crochet all the way to 25 rows. Then let me explain here. This edge. How to crochet this extra piece. Now let me demonstrate to everyone. We still need to use this red thread. Then we still use this white one to demonstrate to everyone here. We see the position of the back interface behind here. Then this side is high and this side is low. This is the last stitch, and this is the first stitch. We insert the needle from the last stitch. Pick the outer half loop. Then what will it look like? Half of a half loop. We pick this half loop to crochet from the top stitch. That is the last stitch. Bring the thread in. Hook up a chain stitch. Then, in this stitch only hook up a chain stitch. Then we come to, in the stitch, which is slightly lower on the side, pick up the thread. Hook a short stitch. Then continue to hook at the back. In each of these stitches, pick up the thread in the outer loop and hook a short stitch. Hook until the end. In the first stitch, that is, in this stitch where only a chain stitch is hooked, hook a short stitch. Then join the first stitch. Hook and knit a draw stitch. Then hook and knit a chain stitch. We start knitting the second round. Then we start knitting the second round. The second round is to pick up the entire stitch. Hook a round of short stitches. This completes the second round. Then hook a draw stitch with the first stitch. A lucky stitch. Then cut the line here. Cut it. Cut the line here. Then hide the line. I won't cut it here, because I'm demonstrating it to everyone here. The back part needs to be removed later. Then it's this bag. This effect here. After completing the 25th round, we finish by hooking a draw needle. Cut the thread. Pull out the thread end. Hide the thread end. Then from the position of the draw needle, draw needle. At this position, on top, we mark this one on top. Make a mark. Fasten a marker button. Then we count 11 stitches left and right. Count 11 stitches each. A total of 22 stitches. Count 11 stitches each. This is the position of the draw needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At this position. This side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then, a total of 22 stitches. Turn to the back. We knit into the stitches from this side. Start crocheting the cover part. Bring in the blue yarn. Then crochet a chain stitch. Then in the first stitch. Then in the same stitch. Crochet a single crochet. Then continue crocheting in each stitch marker. Crochet a single crochet in each stitch. A total of 22 single crochets. 3, 4, 5, 20, 21, 22. After completing 22 single crochets, we crochet a turning chain. Then flip the fabric. Then continue crocheting. From the back, crochet a single crochet in each stitch. A total of 22 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 22. After completing 22 single crochets, crochet a chain stitch and flip the fabric. And that's how we flip it back and forth. Flip back and forth the D-film hook. The third row is also unabated crochet 22 short stitches. After the third line is finished, hook a standing needle and turn the sheet over. And in the fourth row, we're going to add a stitch on each of the left and right edges. The leftmost stitch, the first stitch and the last stitch. First, we'll add a needle to the first needle. In the first stitch, we crochet 2 short stitches. Crochet 1 short needle in the rest. Sheet inversion. "20 short stitches in the middle are complete. We're in the last needle. In the same eye, hook a short needle. Then hook a standing pin. We'll crochet the 5th loop. Round 5 to round 9. We're not dropping the hook. Round 5 to round 9. Every line we crochet without cutting. 24 short needles. We'll hook it ourselves. Finish the 9th round of crochet. I will teach everyone the crochet method below again. After completing the 9th round of the cover, we crochet a chain stitch. Cut the thread. Pull the thread out. Next, we crochet this part of the hand. First, wrap 2 loops on the top of the finger. Insert the crochet hook into the chain stitch loop. Pull out a loop. Crochet a chain stitch for the first round. In the first round, we crochet 6 short stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After the 6 short stitches, tighten the chain stitch loop. We crochet spirally. No need to crochet the pull-up loop. In the second round, add 1 stitch in each stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then crochet to combine into 2 stitches. Then crochet the 3rd round. The 3rd round is, add 1 stitch every 3 stitches. First, 1 short stitch in the first stitch, 1 short stitch in the second stitch. Insert a short stitch in the 3rd stitch, then add a stitch in the 4th stitch. This is one group. Continue crocheting in the back. A short stitch, 2 short stitches, 3 short stitches, then in the last 3 short stitches at the bottom, then add a stitch in the next stitch below. Continue crocheting. A short stitch, 2 short stitches, 3 short stitches, then add a stitch in the next stitch below. The 3rd round is a total of 15 stitches. Then we crochet the 4th round. The 4th and 5th rounds are 2 rounds without increasing or decreasing. Crochet 15 short stitches in each round. We crochet by ourselves. After crocheting the 5th round, I will teach you the crochet method for the following. After completing the 2 rounds of the 4th and 5th rounds without increasing or decreasing, we crochet the 6th round. In the 6th round, skip 3 stitches and decrease 1 stitch. Crochet a short stitch in the first stitch. Hook a short stitch in the second stitch. Hook a short stitch in the 3rd stitch. Then combine the 4th and 5th stitches into 1 stitch. Then continue to crochet. 1 short stitch, 2 short stitches, 3 short stitches. Then combine the next 2 stitches into 1 stitch. Crochet until a single crochet stitch. Then continue to crochet. 1 short stitch, 2 short stitches, 3 short stitches. Then combine the next 2 stitches into 1 stitch. After completing the decrease by 1 stitch every 3 stitches in the 6th round, we crochet until the 7th round. In the 7th round, we hook a popcorn stitch in the first stitch. Yarn over. For the popcorn stitch, we work in the same stitch. First crochet 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. First crochet 5 double crochets, then return to the first stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Return to the 5th stitch from the end. Insert the loop. Pull it out. Hook another popcorn stitch. Sew this. This stitch is this loop of popcorn stitch, the stitch behind it, is our first stitch. If we don't know, we can make a mark. Afterwards, we continue to crochet 11 short stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. After completing the 11 short stitches, our 7th round is completed. Next, crochet the 8th round. The first stitch of the 8th round is at the position of the marker. Insert the stitch behind the popcorn stitch. Crochet a short stitch. For the 8th round, we just crochet 1 round without increasing or decreasing. Crochet 12 short stitches without increasing or decreasing. After completing the 8th round, we crochet the 9th round. The 9th round, our pattern for the short stitches is skip 2 stitches, decrease 1 stitch, decrease a total of 3 times. First, in the first stitch, hook a short stitch, mark the first stitch, a short stitch in the second stitch. Then combine the 3rd and 4th stitches into 1 stitch. Then continue to hook a short stitch, 2 short stitches. Then combine the 3rd and 4th stitches into 1 stitch. Then continue to hook a short stitch, 2 short stitches. Then continue to hook the 3rd and 4th stitches into 1 stitch. Then our 9th round is completed in this way. Then crochet the 10th round. The 10th round, we are not adding or decreasing 9 short stitches. Hook a short stitch in each stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine. After completing 9 short stitches, we crochet the 11th round. The 11th round, we need to change to black yarn. Change to black yarn to crochet. Before changing the line, we just need to spiral and hook. We undo the last stitch and insert into these 2 stitches. Take the black thread, bring in the black thread, then take this white thread, leave it on the outside. Next, then we crochet in the back. We crochet in the back in each of our stitches. Each stitch. We normally insert it like this. We only pick the outer half, only pick its outer half stitch. The outer half stitch is from this figure 8. Pass the needle from the middle to the outside. Pick the inside thread. The outside thread is not enough. Pick like this, from the center of the small loop. Pass the needle to the outside. Pick up an outside thread. This way we pick 9 inner half stitches. Hook a short stitch into the first stitch. The white thread is placed on the outside. The black thread is wrapped inside and hooked together. In the first stitch, we hooked a short stitch inside out. For the second and third stitches, we only pick the inside out stitch and hook a short simple stitch. Then hook a short stitch in the next stitch. This round is all about picking the inside out stitch. Whether it's a simple stitch or hooking a short stitch, it's always picking the inside out stitch. These are not needed, put them inside. Hook a short stitch after the short stitch. Cut the thread. Then a short stitch. A simple stitch. Our 11th round. Only inside board stitches. Following the pattern of skipping 1 stitch and decreasing 1 stitch. Hook 3 simple stitches. So next, we will start hooking our 12th round. From the 12th round to the 17th round, we hook short stitches without increasing or decreasing. Hook 6 short stitches without increasing or decreasing in each stitch. In each stitch, hook a single crochet. When we crochet, no need to pick up that half stitch again. We pick up the entire stitch. Pick up the entire stitch. After completing the actual loop, we crochet a yarn over. Crochet a slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn end out with a long yarn. With a yarn over. Next, we go back to this point. With this white yarn. Pick up the yarn from here. Pick up the yarn from the outer half stitch. First crochet a slip stitch. Then, in each stitch, crochet a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A total of 9 stitches picked. Then print 8. A slip stitch. Next, we crochet a single crochet. Crochet 9 single crochets in each round. Crochet without increasing or decreasing. In this section, we crochet a total of 3 rounds. After completing 3 rounds, crochet a slip stitch. A lucky needle. Cut it first. Turn it over. A little higher. Try not to miss the white line. Next, we sew. We thread from the black here. We sew this palm with the black thread. Then we needle in from this position. then thread in, occupying the most central and bottom row. 1, 2, 3, the middle 3 stitches. Then we do it like this. Count from here. 1, 2, 3, the 4th row. Then we need to take a little more in the middle, here. Then thread back to this place. Thread back to this place again. Tie a knot. Put the needle with your hand. We use a hand needle to hide it in the black thread. So when hiding, use the same color thread to hide in the same color fabric. Bring it out. Just cut it off. Then it's done like this. Next, the part where we hook the leg. First, we cast on 9 stitches. Tie a knot. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After completing the 9 stitches, we return to the second last stitch. Turn to the back. Pick up a back strand. This is its rationale. 3. Hook a short stitch. 1 short stitch. 2 short stitches. This is 2 short stitches. Mark on top of the first short stitch. The first short stitch. These are 2 short stitches. Mark on top of the first short stitch. Then hook. Pick up the back strand. Then hook. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After completing the 7 short stitches, on top of the last stitch, done. Hook 3 short stitches in the same stitch. Then turn to the other side. Continue to hook 6 short stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then on the first stitch of the crochet hook, mark the stitch. Next, crochet 5 short stitches without increasing or decreasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the next 5 stitches at the back. In the next 5 stitches, crochet 1 short stitch in each stitch. Next, we add another short stitch. Then continue to crochet 5 short stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the last 2 stitches, add 1 stitch to each. This completes the second round. Next, crochet the third round. The third and fourth rounds are 2 rounds without increasing or decreasing. Hook 26 short stitches without increasing or decreasing in the third and fourth rounds. Hook 1 short stitch in each stitch. A total of 26 short stitches are hooked. We will complete the third and fourth rounds. Then let me teach you the following crochet method. After completing the fourth round, we continue to crochet the fifth round. We need to decrease stitches starting from the fifth round. First, remove the marker. First crochet 8 short stitches without increasing or decreasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we crochet a short stitch together with a scissor stitch. Scissor stitch of the short stitch. That is, 2 stitches are combined into 1 stitch. Note that we are using an invisible scissor stitch. Pay attention to the method of the invisible scissor stitch. First, pick up the outer half stitch of the first stitch. Bring out a loop. Then pick up the outer half stitch of the other stitch. Bring out a loop. Now the crochet hook has 3 loops on it. Now the crochet hook has 3 loops on it. Now the crochet hook has 3 loops on it. Then pull these 3 loops over at once. This is a hidden stitch of cutting the needle. Next, we hook 1 short needle. Hook a short needle in the next stitch. Then, we hook 3 loops in 1 stitch. A hidden stitch of 3 loops in 1 stitch. The first stitch passes through. Pass through the second stitch. Pass through the second stitch. Pass through the third stitch. Pull the 4 loops around the thread at once. This is a 3 loops in 1 stitch. Then hook a short needle in the next stitch. After that, we hook 2 loops in 1 stitch. Next, continue to hook 9 short needles. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. After completing 9 short needles, our 5th round is completed. The 5th round is a total of 22 stitches. Then we crochet the 6th round. First, we start by crocheting 6 single crochets in the 6th loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then crochet 1 double crochet and 1 single crochet. Invisible decrease. Then crochet 1 single crochet. Then crochet 3 double crochets together over the next 3 stitches. Then crochet 1 single crochet. Then crochet 1 double crochet 2 together. Next, crochet 7 single crochets. This completes our 6th loop, is finished. After completing the 6th loop, there are a total of 18 stitches. Next, crochet the 7th loop. In the 7th loop, we start by crocheting 5 single crochets. Then, crochet 4 times. Double crochet 2 together. Once. Twice. Three times. Four times. Next, crochet 5 single crochets, 4 times. After completing the 7th loop, there are a total of 14 stitches. Next, crochet the 8th loop. 8th loop, we start by adding 1 stitch in the first stitch. Mark the first stitch. Then knit 4 short stitches. After 4 short stitches, next, knit 2 short stitches together twice. Once. Twice. Next, knit 4 short stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then add 1 stitch in the last stitch. The 8th round is completed with a total of 14 stitches. Next, we knit the 9th round. First, add 1 stitch in the first stitch of the 9th round. Mark the first stitch on the left. Then knit 3 short stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then knit 3 decreases. 1, 2, 3. Then knit 3 decreases. Twice. Three times. Then knit 3 short stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then add 1 stitch in the last stitch. Next, knit the 10th round. In the 10th round, start by knitting 4 short stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget to lock the first stitch. Continue to crochet 3 short stitches in order. 1, 2, 3. Finally, crochet 3 more short stitches. 1, 2, 3. Next, we need to switch to black thread. We have completed the yellow part. Next, we crochet the black part. Remove the last stitch. Remove, put it back into these 2 loops. Then we switch to black thread. Insert the thread. Then we have paper crochet, outer half stitch, each stitch. It is made up of a small braid like this. Each stitch. It is made up of a small braid like this. 2 threads that look like the number 8. We thread from the center of the braid to the outside. Pick the outer half of the thread. Thread from the center of the braid to the outside. Pick the outer half of the thread. Crochet. Crochet a short stitch. In the first stitch, crochet a short stitch. Do not use a marker library for marking. In the second needle eye, put this yellow thread. Put it first. Half of this bag. We straighten the side. The black thread continues to press, because our yellow still needs to hook the edge. The second needle. Then continue to hook. The third needle. After 3 needles, we hook 2 stitches and 1 stitch. Then behind, continue to hook another group. Every 3 stitches, cut 1 stitch. At this time, we should have hooked this yellow part. We need to fill it with cotton. And now I'm going to fill it. If we continue to hook, this mouth will become very small. And if we stuff cotton, it won't be so convenient. Next, we continue to hook and knit. Continue to hook and knit. 1 group, every 3 stitches, cut 1 stitch. One short needle. Two short needles. 3 short needles. Then, hook 2 stitches and 1 stitch. Then, we completed the 11th round. The 11th round consists of 8 stitches. 8 stitches. Then we crochet the 12th round. The 12th round, from the 12th round to the 16th round. We pick up complete stitches. The entire stitch. No need to pick only half stitches. Crochet a single crochet in each stitch. A total of 8 single crochets. We spiral like this. A total of round crochets. Keep crocheting until the 16th round is completed. After completing the 16th row, we pull up 1 slip stitch, then cut the thread leaving it a bit long. We use it for sewing. Pull out the pillow. Next, we come back to this yellow area. Here, pick up the remaining outer loop stitches of this round. Bring in the yellow thread. Crochet a slip stitch. Then, pick up the outer loop. 1 short loop. 2 short loops. 3 short loops. 4 short loops. Then in the 5th regular wood, we add 1 loop. Then we continue to crochet 4 short loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to the first regular wood, which is inside the 5th regular wood. Add 1 loop. The rule for adding loops in this round is, add 1 loop every 4 loops, crochet twice. Then pull up with the first regular wood. 1 standing loop. Then we continue to crochet each round. Crochet 12 loops without increasing or decreasing for 2 rounds. Crochet 12 short loops in each round. Crochet 12 short loops without increasing or decreasing. A total of 2 rounds crocheted. This yellow edge. We are done with 2 rounds without increasing or decreasing. Next, crochet and pull up a loop with the first loop. 1 standing loop. Cut the thread. Pull out the thread end. Then use a needle to hide the thread, just like the wrist part. Then hide the thread first. After hiding it, we flip it over. Flip it over. Like this, flip it over. Next, we use black thread to mend the edge of the foot. When we embroider, pass through the loop from the back and go through the top. Then go through the next loop. Thank you, everyone. If we embroider like this, these 2 black threads will be neater. Next, let's crochet the decorative patch on your body. Start with a locking stitch, 12,345. Lock 5 stitches, then return to the second to last stitch, the back of the mountain. Pick a thread, hook it with a short needle. 1, 2, 3. After 3 short needles, in the 4th stitch, which is the last stitch, hook 3 in the same stitch. Hook 3 short needles in the stitch. 1, 2. Three. Stop, 3. And then turn to the other side. The left and right sides correspond. First hook 2 short stitches in the middle. A, 2. And then in the last needle, 2 more short stitches. And then it's detached from the first needle. A standing needle. Cut the thread and pull out the thread. According to this method, crochet 2 pieces. According to this method, we crochet 2 pieces, and then sew it in this position. Next, the hand we sewed on it. This hand of his, from the side of the bag. The third, 1, 2, 3, third row from the bottom, and 4th rows. This position, sewed in this position. And then I use the other side. Let's show you. Let's take this bag. Sewed up, sewn it up, and then these two sides. It's a button on one side. We can also stitch it up first. Then this part of our hand. The stitching will be more straight. Then here. Take a look. There are probably 2 stitches here. 3, 4. Then probably stitch it on. Here on the edge. 1 stitch, 2 stitches, 3 stitches, 4 stitches. We stitch it inside these 3 stitches. We stitch it inside these 3 stitches. Then we continue downwards. 3rd row. Insert here in the 3rd row. Come out from this position in the 4th row. Thread back into our first stitch of the body. It's the first stitch of the arm. A total of 3 stitches. The front and back stitches go through together. Then tighten it, tighten it. The position of the first stitch. We can stitch it several more times. Insert the 3rd stitch. Come out from the corresponding position in the 4th row. Then insert it into the 2nd stitch. Insert the front needle. Then insert the back needle. Then the 3rd needle. Insert the back needle. Finally, we sew the last stitch again. Then let's take a look at the sewing position. And that completes the sewing of one hand. Then tie a knot. Then thread it back into the arm together. After hiding the thread, cut the thread. Sew the arm part. Is now sewn up. Our leg is sewn in the same way. In the same way, our cotton. The upper part does not need to be filled with cotton. When sewing, press it tightly, tightly. Then sew the front and back stitches together. Just like the hand, find the right position to sew. You can refer to my illustration.